Welcome to episode number 314 of the Marine Layer podcast. The Mariners fall in Game 6, and of course, in classic Mariners fashion, we'll head to a Game 7 on Monday night. Will Lyle and I be able to handle it? Well, we'll let you know.
Reminder to you guys, before this podcast starts, make sure you're going over to our website, marinelayerpod.com, where you can find all of our stuff. All our episodes are over there, audio and video, along with our merch, which we love seeing people wear. TJ's got his hat on right now. You can sign up for our Patreon, and you can find us all across social media at Marine Layer Pod.
Let's get it rolling.
The pitch from Acevedo. A drive deep to right field. Down the line. The Mariners win this game 2-1. The dream lives. They're going to the playoffs. 1-1 from Jansen. There you go. Left field. We got a tie ball game. Julio. Oh, baby, what a moment. Tie ball game at 7-7.
And we welcome you to this episode of the Marine Layer podcast, part of the Just Baseball Podcast Network. Recording here on Sunday evening, October 19th. And of course, the Mariners are going to make us sit through a Game 7 on Monday. Tomorrow might be the longest day on the history of planet Earth for the two of us. And the rest of Mariners fans out there.
Fuck. That's the only way I can start this podcast. Sorry for anybody listening that's, still in school.
Deserved, to be honest. Because that's really how Game 6 felt. I can imagine someone who doesn't even swear when watching the Mariners at the plate in the third inning, fourth inning, and fifth inning, watched how those innings concluded. I think that's the only conceivable reaction to it.
I mean,
are people looking for a reason why they lost the game? Do people want a reason? I'll give you a reason. It's not the errors. It's not even Logan Gilbert's start. It's the fact the offense, who had Trey Savage asking them to hit him. He was asking them, please light me up. Please hit a grand slam. Please hit a double in the gap. Heck, please take ball 4 and I'll walk in a run for you. And the Mariners hit into not 1, not 2, 3 double plays in 3 consecutive innings to essentially kill any chance they had to win the game tonight. Any chance. That was it right there.
What I said after the fourth inning. I said, you don't ground into 2 straight double plays with the bases loaded and come back from 4 runs down to win a game. You just don't do it. Doesn't happen. And evidently, that's exactly the result, because the Mariners did not come back. And for anybody that thinks TJ might be exaggerating when he's saying Trey Savage was asking the Mariners to just absolutely square him the hell up, no, he's not. This is not to take away from the fact that Trey Savage did turn in a good start and his final line was very good. But TJ's right that for the second start in a row where he's seen the Mariners, his stuff totally deteriorated after about 3 innings. Didn't have the same level of stuff.
In the third inning, his the first pitch of the third inning was 92 miles an hour.
Okay, so after 2 innings, a guy making his 6th career big league start, in not so shocking fashion, has his stuff start to deteriorate.
Yeah.
And the Mariners still could not jump on it. Just couldn't do it.
Nope. And they were talking about on the broadcast a bunch. John Smoltz is pointing out how Trey Savage loved to go fastball first pitch, splitter second pitch. And the Mariners kept swinging at those second pitch splitters after falling behind 0-1. Which is, by the way, if there's one thing that Trey Savage I thought did really well tonight, is he was always in there for a first pitch strike, unlike Logan Gilbert, who always seemed to be starting at ball 1. Big difference when you start with strike 1 versus ball 1. But when strike 1 is coming in at 92 miles an hour over the plate, it should be getting crushed. Do you know what the Blue Jays hitters do when you throw them a 92 mile an hour fastball over the plate? The ball is in the outfield for a base hit. That's what Vladdy does. That's what Springer does. That's what Ernie Clement is earning Kerry Carpenter level of PTSD for me, where I literally don't think I ever want to see Ernie Clement play another baseball game again unless he's playing on the Seattle Mariners after this series is over. But that's exactly what the Blue Jays did, and they did that more tonight. It was a big reason they were able to put up the runs they did, because the Mariners are leaving pitches over the middle of the plate. They're smacking them for hits again. That, the Blue Jays' strength for this series has shown up, and that's a big reason why they were able to force a Game 7 tonight.
Huge reason. And Logan, look, it was pretty clear what his plan of attack was going to be going into this start. Gets a ton of swing and miss with the splitter. Clearly was a plan that he wanted to just kill the Blue Jays with splitters. Unfortunately, he was not landing a lot of those for strikes. He threw a lot of really uncompetitive splitters, a lot of them which Cal had to do everything in his power to keep in front of him. So Logan didn't have his best stuff. Left a couple too far out over the plate. Obviously, the one to Vladdy, he crushed. Barger got crushed. That one really was killer, the Addison Barger homer. Because Logan in that inning got 2 straight outs to start the third, gives up a triple off the wall, and then a home run. So, look, do the Mariners win that game if Logan doesn't do that? Probably not, because this is going to boil down to the offense just not doing anything and not executing when they had opportunities. But if you want to look at Logan's start as a whole and where the Blue Jays generated their offense, there's a couple of places. That third inning for sure, and just the fact that he could not seem to get his splitter going. That's a little bit of the story of this game when you look at the two pitchers. Trey Savage had the splitter working. Logan didn't have his A game with the splitter.
Could you argue that Logan wouldn't have been out there in the third inning if the Mariners had actually cashed in on that bases loaded opportunity in the top half? By the way, there were arms warming in the Mariners' pen in the second inning. They were thinking about it. If the Mariners gap a double and it's 3-2 M's, or maybe they add on a couple more and they get 4 runs out of that inning and it's 4-2 Mariners, are you letting Logan Gilbert back out there? Because again, he had 1 inning with 1 base runner, and then the second inning was just a headache. He couldn't land strikes. He wasn't fooling the Blue Jays that much outside of a couple of strikeouts. And mostly he just was not in control of anything on the mound.
Yeah.
You could make a real case that, you turn a Bizzardo in that moment for 2 innings. But as Smoltz was talking about on the broadcast, and this makes a lot of sense, and this is what we'll talk about when we preview Game 7 tomorrow later in this podcast, the Mariners know they get one more game at least, no matter what, because they have a 3-2 series lead. You're not going to burn all your A-level bullpen arms for 40 pitches if you don't have to in this game, knowing you have one more opportunity at this. But also the Mariners left Logan Gilbert in longer because they couldn't score any runs. And that's why he was giving up. The Blue Jays were seeing him and hitting him a little bit. And people were like, oh, why don't you take him out? Because the offense isn't doing anything. They're not giving you any reason to take Logan Gilbert out of the game.
Wasn't quite to this extent, but it's a little bit like leaving Kirby out there to wear it in Game 3. Mariners said to themselves, we're up 2-0. We're not going to play this game like it's a must-win. We're going to let Kirby go wear it. Wasn't quite to that level because Logan didn't give up 8 runs like Kirby did, but it was to a level where you're right. If the offense wasn't going to be competitive, Dan Wilson's not going to start plugging and playing all his A-level relievers in a 5-run game. It's just not going to happen.
We haven't talked about the errors yet. I don't think the errors were the main reason the Mariners lost, but it was kind of a theme of this game for the most part. It's just the lack of execution and maybe a tiny bit lack of focus in those singular moments that helped the Blue Jays. The errors added on 2 runs to the Blue Jays total, where you think, okay, one of those swings with the bases loaded has you at a tie game. Cal doesn't throw that ball away. Gino doesn't kick that ball in the second inning. Second inning. Gino doesn't kick that ball in the second inning. That's a 4-4 tied game right there. We're having a different conversation right now.
Or how about this? In that same inning that Gino doesn't field the ball cleanly, at bat before, Julio bobbles the ball out in center field to give Varsho an extra base. If he doesn't do that, Varsho stays at first, and if Gino doesn't bobble that ball, that turns into a double play, likely. And that changes that entire inning.
That's 3 runs. Instead, Blue Jays get all 3 of those runs back because the Mariners' defense comes back to bite them, which is a weakness. The Mariners were one of the worst defensive teams in baseball this year. I was hoping it wasn't going to have to cost them a series, and we won't know that until tomorrow. But in terms of preventable things, that was very preventable. But it's just a whole laundry list of things in this game that the Mariners did not do well, and a reason that they're going to have to play Game 7 tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward towards. Or maybe I am. We'll see how I am tomorrow. Right now, the thought of there being a do-or-die game is terrifying me. Terrifying.
No, I'm not looking forward to a Game 7. No. Especially when you consider they were up 2-0 in this series. Think about this. This is a harsh reality. If they can't pull out a Game 7 win tomorrow, the truth is you lost 4 of 5 to end your season. That'll be the harsh
sting
reality
for everybody.
But for the Mariners, since they went up 2-0 and you had a clear advantage coming home, you lose 4 or 5 to end your season. Whew, it's a tough pill to swallow.
before we actually talk about the Game 7, though, there's this theme with this series that I can't get out of my head. It doesn't make me feel very good. It's the starting rotation. The starting rotation this series has laid an egg. Besides Bryce Miller, sorry. Bryce Miller has pitched in 2 of the 3 Mariners wins this series, and he's been pretty good in both of them. 10 combined innings and has allowed 3 runs. That's a sub-3 ERA right there. For Bryce Miller, for someone who's supposed to be in the bullpen, that's great. Even with that, Mariners starters this series have an ERA over 6. And the 4 starts the Mariners got that weren't Bryce Miller's, Logan Gilbert goes 3 innings, allows 3 runs. George Kirby goes 4 innings, allows 8 runs. Luis goes 2 1/3, 3 runs. Logan Gilbert's start tonight, 4 innings, 5 runs. This is supposed to be this is supposed to be something that gives the Mariners an X factor in this series, a strength. One Mariners strength that has showed up is high leverage bullpen arms. That has been evident between the 2 teams this series. The matchup between the Mariners' uber-talented rotation and the Blue Jays' uber-talented lineup has been a total mismatch. The Blue Jays lineup has mashed the Mariners' starters around with no issue at all. Mm-hmm. Their strength came to play and has given them this opportunity. The Mariners' strength has almost held them back. And the fact they've gotten to a Game 7 with some of these starts the Mariners have gotten from their starters this series has almost a minor miracle, to be honest. If you just look at it from a numbers perspective, it's hard to win when your starters are giving you almost uncompetitive outings every time.
So what's going to give in Game 7? What the hell is going to change in Game 7 to put the Mariners over the top?
Well, I have an idea for a strategy, but first, let's pause for an ad. Thanks to Bear Mattress for sponsoring this episode. Head to bearmattress.com/marinelayer and use our code marinelayer to get 40% off your mattress. Bear is a premium fiberglass-free mattress designed to upgrade your sleep quality, and it's conveniently shipped to your door for free within the U.S. Bear knows that everyone has different preferences in sleep positions. To help find the best mattress for you, they have made a sleep quiz that will remove all of the guesswork. But don't just take our word for it. Bear also ran a survey with over 300 of their recent customers, where 82% of them saw improvement of their sleep quality on their new Bear mattress, which is why 95% of those customers said they would recommend Bear to a friend. All of Bear's mattresses are also created without the use of harmful chemicals, so you can sleep safely and soundly knowing there will be no off-gassing. And unlike other brands, Bear mattresses do not contain fiberglass, which can be detrimental to your health. The best part of all this is that Bear delivers your mattress right to your door with free shipping within the U.S. If it makes you nervous to buy something that you haven't tried, Bear has a 120-night sleep trial, so you get more than 3 months to make sure that you'll love it. So if you're looking to upgrade your sleep, head to bearmattress.com/marinelayer and use code marinelayer to get 40% off your Bear mattress. This is higher than what's being offered on site, so check it out while you can. The links are in the description. My pitching strategy for Game 7. So George is going to get the start. George Kirby is going to have the quickest hook on planet Earth that I've ever thought of in a baseball game. I remember people talked about this for Bryce in Game 5 against... No, sorry, that was Game 4 against the Tigers. Kirby pitched already in one elimination game for the Mariners this series, or this postseason. Game 5 against the Tigers. It's pretty good. He did his job. I would take that performance again from the Blue Jays, against the Blue Jays. But as I just read out, his last start against the Blue Jays was not very good at all. George Kirby gets one time through the order for me in this game. That's it. Once. Because even if you win this game, you get 3 days off before Game 1 of the World Series. 3 days. All your bullpen arms, all your starters who might throw in this game, they have 3 days to rest. And most of them will be on normal rest by the time you turn it around. Okay, so back to my strategy. Kirby gets one time through the order, 2, maybe 3 innings. And then some combination of Bizardo, Castillo, Wu, Brash, and Munoz to finish the game. Those are the only guys, and Gabe Spire, if there's a lefty they need to get out. They need to get Barger out. They need to get Varsho out. Gabe comes in that moment. Otherwise, those are the only guys I want in the game. That's it.
I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I think those are the only guys you will see. I don't think you're going to see anybody else.
I'm fine with George Kirby pitching 2 1/3 innings, and then the lineup flips over, and then Bizzardo comes in for maybe another time through the order. Because Bizzardo can do that, and Bizzardo only threw like 15 pitches tonight?
I think it was a little more. I've got it up, though.
Less than
you're
20.
Right. You're right, 15 pitches.
Perfect. He can pitch one time through the order tomorrow if you need him to. Then 3 days to rest before the Dodgers. He's shown he can do it this postseason. He's been one of the few guys that's been consistently effective against this Blue Jays lineup. So I would go to him early to try and get one time through the order from innings 3 to 5-ish. And then I'm bringing Brian Wu in at the start of an inning that Bizzardo finishes. Or say if you need Brash or Gabe to finish an inning for Bizzardo, they finish and then Wu comes in. I'm hoping Wu feels a little bit better now back into game action for the second time. And then I'm letting Munoz get the rest of the outs. I'm sorry. I just need the best possible guys out there for this game. You need to manage like you're not playing tomorrow. And the difference between the DS and the CS is that the division series, you got one game off before game one of the championship series. No matter what, in this, you will get at least 3 days off. So you might as well throw everybody.
Well, you're either getting 3 days off or you're getting about 5 months off.
No pressure.
So in your scenario, Castillo's not even pitching.
I think I'd be okay with Castillo. It's just hard for me to trust the starters. They've been so bad.
Again, maybe in an emergency, that would be the scenario where you see Luis in. Like heaven forbid if we see extra fucking innings in Game 7.
that might send me to my grave if they go to extra innings. God. What pitchers have pitched well this series for the Mariners? Seriously.
Bryce.
Okay.
I think Wu did his job. 2 innings of 1-run ball was fine, but he hasn't, probably not enough of a sample size. Mooney.
Okay.
Mooney.
Okay. Bizzardo.
Yeah, Bizzardo.
So that's 3.
I mean, we know the starters have not pitched well. Hasn't that been well outlined?
Mm-hmm. Right. That's the point I'm making. Where all these guys need to have the quickest hook humanly possible tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. There's no doubt.
What else are we thinking about for tomorrow? Like, the offense clearly needs to show up. There cannot, if they ground into a bases loaded double play tomorrow, I mean, just consider it. There's 27 outs left in the season, potentially. The Mariners are either going to come through with the bases loaded tomorrow, or their season's probably going to end.
Here's a number. 0 for 11. You know what that is?
Runners in scoring position.
I wish I could say yes, although was that their actual number, 0 for 11?
I don't know. You're the one with the number.
Well, I thought you were saying you had that number in front of you. No, that's not the answer. 0 for 11 was what Julio, Cal, and Jorge Polanco combined for here tonight in Game 6. Plain and simple, you want to win Game 7, that can't happen.
Nope.
You better have your stars show up.
What about for what the Blue Jays are going to throw out there?
The Blue Jays are going to throw everybody, too. I mean, obviously, Shane Bieber is going to start, but everybody but Trey Savage will be available. So you'll see Bieber, you may see Max Scherzer, and you're probably going to see Kevin Gausman at some point. Which, let's say this again. You know what? I'm not going to say anything about anything possibly or possibly not favoring the Mariners. Let's just say this. You are going to get another chance tomorrow against Shane Bieber and Max Scherzer. You should hit those guys. I can't promise anything, but what those guys have shown in their season, even though Bieber's been better than Scherzer, that's for sure, and he's been solid. He hasn't been prime Shane Bieber, but those guys have shown you should be able to find a way to hit them. Scherzer especially if he comes in. We're not going to guarantee anything. We're not going to say anything about favoring. We're not going to say anything about matchups. You should hit those guys.
And you'll get the opportunity to, because I don't think the Blue Jays trust many of those guys in their bullpen. And by the way, one of the guys they do trust in Jeff Hoffman, that all the Blue Jays fans were pining for to face Gino instead of Brendan Little in Game 5, the rest of them have been bad. I don't think anyone trusts those other. I'm sorry, I was talking about Hoffman. Hoffman threw over 30 pitches tonight.
Well, and I was going to say Hoffman didn't have a good year either. ERA
he looked pretty good tonight.
He looked good tonight, but if you're talking about his season, I mean, his FIP was almost 5. Mm-hmm. He was not the guy they paid him to be when he came over from Philly to be a premier closer. Not at all. Mm-hmm. ERA was nearly 4.4, had ups and downs throughout the year. Like, this happens with relievers. They're fickle. They're not always perfect. They have up and down years. This was not a good Jeff Hoffman year.
You might only get starters from the Blue Jays tomorrow. Maybe a mix. Maybe Sir Anthony Dominguez comes back in for the Blue Jays, but otherwise, like, I know Brendan Little's not coming in tomorrow. I don't think so. You really might only get, for at least most of it, Shane Bieber, Scherzer, and Gausman. I do think that somewhat benefits the Mariners, even though I don't really want to see Kevin Gausman. At least you'll be seeing these guys for a third time. Second time for Scherzer and Bieber. Third time for Gausman. I mean, it is a little bit better than only getting a couple looks versus one pocket of your lineup for a reliever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would hope.
Yeah. What if the Mariners just bury them tomorrow? Like, what if they just won 10-1?
It'd be perfect. That would be the best day of my life. That would be the best day of my life.
But knowing them, they just never make it that easy.
I'll tell you this, Lyle. We asked on the last podcast. We're adding chapters to the DVD. This is a chapter.
Well, yeah, it's a chapter. They're going to 7 games.
For the first time ever. We keep talking about making the World Series for the first time. Well, they also haven't played in a Game 7 ever.
That's nuts. That really is crazy. They played in Game 5s, but not Game 7s.
The fact that we have to suffer through a Game 5 and a Game 7 in the same postseason is kind of unfair, but also remarkably on brand for being a Mariners fan. Like, of course, through the 49 years of pain and misery we've had to sit through, it almost has trained and conditioned us for these moments. It's like we've been inflicted pain for all these years before. Now when the pain instead gets shrunk into a 3-hour, 9-inning game, like, of course we're going to be sitting there watching it and experiencing it.
I don't think I've been well prepared. I don't think anything could prepare me for this Game 7. I don't care about the 49 years. I'm going to be a nervous wreck all day tomorrow.
I'm not saying not to be nervous, but it is remarkably on brand. Because it's never going to be easy for us, ever.
Oh, it's on brand. That's different than what you were saying. It's 100%
Okay, maybe I misworded a little bit. It is on brand. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, it's 100% on brand.
I am dead serious, though, when I say tomorrow, Monday, and I think everyone else agrees with me, will either be the best day of my life or the worst day of my life. Mm-hmm. And I'm including those days, because we're both football fans, where the Seahawks won and lost the Super Bowl. I'm including that. I think if they lose tomorrow, it'll be worse than losing Super Bowl 49.
Just because we love baseball more than football, if we had to pick?
Yeah. I think I'm a more mature sports fan now with more ingrained levels into this stuff as opposed to what I was when I was, 15?
When they lost the Super Bowl, we were juniors in high school.
16.
Yeah.
So, yes. I do think so. I think we become bigger baseball fans, and that's why it's going to hurt more tomorrow. But also, given that it took the Mariners 49 years to play in their first Game 7, we have no idea when they're going to play another one. No clue.
I would love to be not playing a Game 7.
But even just getting the chance. We just want the chance.
I mean, to have won in 6 and be done with this.
But clearly they would have had to play better tonight, and they did not. Didn't play better.
No. I'm struggling to even keep my thoughts straight. This is going to be a hell of a 24 hours in one way or the other.
I'm just going to say, overall, I was very disappointed tonight. There are a lot of very frustrating things, but the luxury of what you've afforded yourself, winning 3 of the first 5 games of the series, is that you got 2 opportunities to beat them in Toronto. You didn't take advantage of the first one. Now you have to take advantage of the second one. And I think they understand that. And they got to show up and they got to play with their hair on fire tomorrow. Everyone's got to show up in every way possible. Whatever extra base they can take, or extra strike they can get, or extra walk, whatever. It's got to be taken advantage of tomorrow.
So let's say this. About George Kirby, you're right that there's going to be a quick hook. And I would say you're right about the one time through the lineup thing, that there's a chance that's all he gets. If he's rolling, maybe they let him keep going. But if it gets to the fourth inning, he's gotten through the order one time, maybe he's given up a couple hits, no runs, and he gives up a hit to start the fourth, I think that's it. You might
I just don't see any reason why you need length from anybody over 3 innings.
It's just if they're pitching well. If he's pitching well, fine, let him go. But again, if he's not having his best day ever through 3 innings, and then in the fourth you let him start the frame, but he gives up a hit, then yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
Here's the other part. And again, most of this offensively needs to come down to your stars. Your stars have to step up. Still waiting on a Randy game, because even with the 2 hits tonight, they were not the most inspiring hits in the world. Obviously, guys like Randy, guys like Naylor, the 3 at the top of the lineup in Julio, Cal, Polanco, you need those guys to not be 0 for 11.
Can I mention the fact how disinterested Naylor looked when he hit that home run tonight? I mean, he hit it and he had an enormous frown on his face.
Well, he probably wasn't happy they were losing.
I know. I thought he hit it foul because he turns around and I thought he was going to walk back to the dugout, but no. Sorry. Anyways, I had to note that.
He's quite the character, I must say. In all the good ways. But, again, it's going to mostly come down to your stars. However, if you are scripting your lineup for tomorrow, I'm sorry, we both talked about this and we said it pre-recording. You got to take Dom Canzone out of the lineup tomorrow. He can't be in there. He has looked lost all postseason. His at-bats have not been clean. You need better defense in right field if you have to pick between bats. I think for Game 7, you got to sit him down. That doesn't mean he can't potentially pinch hit late if you really think there's a situation where you want him in there. But you got to do one of 2 things tomorrow. You either just got to put Victor Robles in right field, or you got to put Polanco back out at second and put Robles in right. And I know it's going to sound crazy, but I will throw out the idea of Mitch Garver DHing despite there being a righty on the mound. And I say that because of this. This is where numbers get thrown out the window. And yes, do I know that Mitch Garver has been awful against right-handers all year, all of the last 2 years? Yes. But Garver's been in these games. He's been in these situations. He's a veteran. He had the sac fly in a professional bat off Skubal in Game 5 in a high-pressure game. I'd rather see the vet take some at-bats and just hope he gives you some level of production than rolling with Canzone, because he just unfortunately has not had it.
It's a fair argument. I just don't like the matchup at all for Garver. If he was facing Gausman tomorrow, I'd see it a little bit more. But Mitch Garver's thing for the last 2 years is that he just can't hit righty spin at all. And the 2 guys that you'll see tomorrow in the first 5 innings of the game, most likely, if they play it how they were talking about it on the broadcast, is Bieber and Scherzer, who spin it a ton. Bieber's going to throw that curveball that breaks away from Garver. Scherzer's got a slider and a breaking ball. And that's just a terrible matchup for him. I would rather just put Vic in there. I'd rather just swap Robles and Canzone. I want to keep Leo at second base. I do not need, for as poor as the Mariners are on defense and other spots around the diamond, worse defense at second base in the biggest game. And I think Leo Rivas' at-bats have been totally fine. He just missed a home run tonight. I mean, in some parks that would have been out, but the fence is really tall in Toronto, so it didn't go out. But Leo's given you everything you've needed this postseason. He's drawn walks, fouled off pitches, battled in the box, switch hits, so he has that for you, and his defense is good at second base. That's what I want in my lineup. I want Rivas at second. I want Robles and right batting for Canzone. That's it. No other changes needed.
Fair enough. But yeah, you need the defense. You need the potential for some speed. And Canzone just hasn't had it.
If they bring Mason, I'm going to say his name right, I think, Fluharty in from the bullpen for some reason, then I would put Mitch Garver in. If somehow Garver can get to face a lefty, I would put him in. Otherwise,
I don't even know. At that point, would you just not leave Robles in? Because if you put Garver in there for Robles in that at-bat, then you're asking Canzone to go play right field in the late innings.
I'm just making up a hypothetical. I want the Mariners setting their lineup and keeping it, essentially.
All right.
Is there a bench player you need playing in the game? The only bench players I wanted in the game at any point this series are Leo Rivas and Victor Robles, and they're both in the starting lineup.
And Garver against the lefty, potentially.
Right. The only person who's going to come in off the bench and hit is Canzone, I think.
And that's if you really decide that he needs to be in there. Because, again, if you put Robles in the lineup tomorrow, I think they may just run with it. Because then, again, you are taking the chance on a Canzone pinch hit where he just hasn't looked right all postseason to then run him out there in right field in the late innings over Robles.
Yeah.
Man. I think you got to roll with Robles tomorrow. You sold me. I wouldn't hate the idea of having the vet in there and Garver, but you're right. Then you're sacrificing some defense at second base, and Garver's matchup does not bode well against Scherzer and Bieber with the righty breaking balls. So sure, just play Robles.
The errors hurt tonight. If the Mariners' season ends tomorrow because of errors, I might curdle up, and you won't hear from me until March.
Yeah,
errors are just plays you're supposed to make. That's it. Everything that happened in the game today for the Mariners that they kicked around, they could have just made. All three of those errors, routine. So if that's how the Mariners season ends, because you chose to put a worse defender in the field, I'd rather just keep the bat in the lineup and put a better defender in there. Give yourself a chance. Just want you to try and give yourself a chance tomorrow. Yeah. So if someone wants is going to look to us to make a clean, concise, confident prediction for tomorrow, I wish we could give it to you, but this is Game 7. All bets are off. Everything that happened before this moment does not matter. The first 6 games of the series don't matter anymore. How players have hit in this postseason doesn't matter anymore. How the players hit in the regular season doesn't matter anymore. All that matters is who shows up to play tomorrow and who comes through. And whichever team does that is going to win the game tomorrow. And I hope it's the Mariners, because I sure as hell don't know what I'm going to do if they don't. I'm going to manifest this a little bit more tomorrow, I think. I think I'm going to psych myself into it like I did for Game 5 against Detroit. But right now, I need everyone to take a deep breath as you're listening to this and manifest some good vibes. Please.
There are 26 Mariners tomorrow that have the opportunity to be heroes. There are 26 Mariners in Game 7 that have the chance to write their names in the history books of this city forever. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be in Game 7? Somebody, or a lot of people, hopefully. Please rise to the moment. 26 guys have a chance to write their name in the history books tomorrow. Who's going to step up and be the hero? Somebody's got to do it. Personally, I hope it's George Kirby. I know we think he's going to have a quick hook. I hope he proves everybody wrong, goes out there and has the start of his freaking life tomorrow.
It's been big game George when they've needed it. Game 3 against the Astros, Game 5 against the Tigers. He stepped up. Just can't have a repeat of what he did his first time out.
No.
Just can't do it. It's going to be a raucous crowd inside the Rogers Center tomorrow, because it's not only the Mariners fighting demons in this ALCS. Blue Jays have not been to the World Series in 33 years.
32.
It's been a long time. So someone's going to get their heart broken tomorrow. It's going to be painful. It's not like the Dodgers losing in the championship series. No. It's going to be some major heartbreak on the field tomorrow. But we're manifesting it that it will be the Mariners, and we look forward to talking to you after an ALCS Game 7 win tomorrow night.
I'll say it one more time. Let the Mariners tell us who the hero is going to be in Game 7. Somebody or a lot of people in that clubhouse decide who's going to be the hero. Go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Go out and do it.
Yeah.
All right. Until then, we're going to try to keep our sanity right so we can actually sit in front of the TV and watch this thing. So with that, that'll just about wrap up this edition of the Marine Layer Podcast. You guys know the drill. You want to listen to the full form podcast, you can do so wherever you get your audio pods. Make sure if you're listening, you're downloading these episodes, and you're leaving those 5-star reviews when you're rating and reviewing on Apple and Spotify. It really helps. Go like, comment, and please hit subscribe on YouTube. Hey, we passed 10,000 today. Let's go.
What does that mean?
Come up to us and say 2K if you want to see the video. That's the key. Won't send it out to people, but we'll show you in person now that we're at 10,000. Shout out to all you guys. That is really, really cool. So, subscribe on YouTube. Go over to our website, marinelayerpod.com, where you can find everything. Our merch is over there. Patreon's over there. That's marinelayerpod.com. And you can find us across social media at marinelayerpod. That's TJ. I'm Lyle. As always, we thank you guys for tuning in. Go M's! and we'll talk to you soon.